Hello, I'd like to talk to you today about the process of writing academic books, because if you're considering writing an academic book, it may be helpful to have an idea of the process. The first thing to do is choose the publisher you want to work with. And yes, you can do this. Publishers who are willing to publish your work are not really doing you a favour, it's a business, and essentially you're doing them a favour because these days we can all self-publish our work if we want to. So look at the publishers whose work you like, get in touch with them, find out if they like your idea, if they've got anything like it in the pipeline already. Publishers are friendly people, easy to talk to, and it's absolutely fine to do this. Also, on the publisher's website, you'll find a proposal form. There'll be a section called something like Information for Authors, and you should be able to download the proposal form that publisher uses. And that will give you an idea of what you need to think about and what you need to do to write your book proposal, which is the first step. There's no deadline for this. You can take as much time as you need. But it's not a massively long document, and it shouldn't take you too long if you've got a clear and strong idea in the first place. When you have a draft proposal, get feedback from someone you trust, ideally someone who's already written quite a few books and so therefore has gone through this process themselves quite a few times. And when you've got that feedback, use it to finalise your proposal and send it into your chosen publisher. The publisher may request some revisions because they look at the proposal from their own perspective, which is how do we market this book, how do we sell this book. First of all, they have to sell it internally and then, of course, externally. So they may ask you for some revisions. If they do the revisions they've asked for, and they will then send the proposal out for peer review. That shouldn't really take more than a couple of months, but sometimes it does. So it's a bit open-ended. But once the reviews are in, you will need to respond to the reviewer's comments. The publisher may ask you to revise the book proposal, or they may ask you to write a statement about how you plan to respond to the reviewer's input. Reviewers' input can often be very helpful, but not always. Sometimes they get the wrong end of the stick, or they comment on a book they would like to write rather than the book you want to write. So you can say, no, I'm not going to implement this, but then you need to explain why and give a good reason. Once you have a final proposal that you and the publisher are both happy with, the publisher will take it to an internal committee for approval to take it forward for production and publication. It's very rare that a proposal will be turned down at that stage because the publisher knows their business. They won't put a proposal in front of the committee if they don't think it will be approved. Once it's been approved, the publisher will issue you with a draft contract that will have a deadline in it. You can negotiate on that and on other terms too. If you're in the UK at this point, it's quite a good idea to join the Society of Authors. There is an annual membership fee, but they will vet your contract for you. If you're outside the UK, you may also be able to join the Society of Authors, or there may be a similar organisation in your own country that provides a similar service. Or you may know a contract lawyer who can look at it, or whatever. Maybe you have the skills yourself. Either way, once you've signed it, you have a deadline that you need to do your best to meet. Once you've done that, then write the book to the best of your ability. The proposal forms a useful guide. It's fine to deviate from the proposal within reason as your thinking develops, but it does provide a very useful kind of a roadmap to the writing process. Once you have a complete draft manuscript, that will again go for peer review. That will certainly take 2 or 3 months, maybe even longer. And when you get the reviewer's comments back, you need to revise your manuscript in response to those comments. And again, you don't have to implement them all if you think they've missed a trick or not understood something, but you will need to take them seriously. And if you're not going to implement a comment that a reviewer has made, you'll need to explain why. Then you submit your revised manuscript to the publisher, but that's not the end, because then it goes into production, which is a period of a few months during which you will receive copy edits to check, copy editors' queries, you'll receive proofs to check. You may have to compile an index if you haven't persuaded the publisher to take that on or decided to outsource it to a freelance indexer. But at the end of this period, the book is published and you can have a book launch, which is a really fun thing. I'll tell you about those in a different video.